Hey guys, alright, it's Brett from Iron Body Martial Arts. I hope you're all doing well out there. Just briefly, quickly, this video is going to be a bit of a question and answer from some recent questions, some good questions that I've got, and also talking a bit about the Patreon and my new closed door disciple, Michael Rook. But also thank you to all the other guys on Patreon. But first off, I'd like to say, you know, I know I've been a bit scarce recently. It's because I'm one of the frontline workers, and with all this COVID-19 going on that we're all fully aware of, I've just been very busy. It's a very real situation. It's changing all the time. I didn't want to make any videos about solo training and this and that, and trying to sort of not benefit, but trying to sort of take advantage of the situation. There's so many videos out there. We all know that we can't go to gyms, we can't do this, and everything's got to change a bit. So yeah, I'm tired of all this COVID-19. I get enough of it in a day. So yeah, I don't want to insult people or whatever by making videos about it in the night or on my days off when I come home. You know, just all I can say is, look, I hope everyone's safe out there. I hope your families are safe, all the people who watch the channel and support the channel. You know, I hope we all, like as a community of martial artists and stuff, band together a bit more. I do know that the whole online martial arts community is getting a bit more recognized and getting a bit more respected than it used to be, because all of a sudden now it's a platform for learning, whereas everyone was there was a big load of people who would slate it all the time, but now even big, you know, a lot of YouTubers and big martial arts YouTubers out there are saying, oh well, you know, you guys, people been slating this for years, and now we're forced to use it, and all of a sudden it's a good medium now, you know. So it just goes to show sometimes people, they pick their points, you know. Something can be good one day and it's not good the other day, you know. But anyway, that doesn't matter. Look, with regards to Patreon, I got my closed door disciple Michael Rook, who I'm working with. Patreon.com/IBMA. Again, thank you guys for all the Patreon people, past and present, who support the Patreon. Mike is one of the first people, or probably the second person, but he's the first person who's routinely come to my Patreon, and as is what I want to happen, actually sent me material. Because the way Patreon works is that people come on it, they view videos, they view tiers. But the way it also works is that someone can come on Patreon and, you know, they can pay for a certain tier, and they can view all the videos and copy them or do whatever, and then they don't actually even have to pay, and then they can leave. So I realized this fairly early on in Patreon, and that's why I won't talk too much about Patreon, but that's why I wanted to make it an interactive thing. So when people come onto Patreon, my goal was that it was more like a club than like a come and watch and go thing, because I've got so many videos. You know, it was meant to be a personal thing where people come and they could talk to me directly, message me directly, ask me directly, and I will help them out personally, depending on what level and tier, but pretty much I try and help everyone out. But yeah, Mike Rook's come to me as a closed door student, and it's awesome because Mike's got just a few injuries and stuff like that, and it's cool because he's come with me, sent me some stuff of his stance work. I had a look, I asked him some questions about what his injuries are, what affects him. I immediately, even though I'm not a doctor or physiotherapist, but you know, I've been training martial arts for years, and I'm well aware of the you know, how the body can change depending on what your injury is. I've had injuries myself, back injuries, bad back injuries and herniated discs that I've used various methods to help and heal. So yeah, so I'm really enjoying working with Michael Rook, and yeah, so far we've had a few things back and forward. I've made some videos for him that are on there, and it's really cool. It's personal, it's tailored, and another good thing is, and I mean, if he wants to speak about it, he can. It appears to be, you know, it's stuff that's helping, you know. It's stuff that he's like, oh yeah, you know, I didn't think I could do this, I can do this, but this I can actually do. Let's work through it. Another cool thing is that he's, you know, been a martial artist for years, you know, albeit sometimes injury can change your condition. But hey, look, I look forward and I hope to, whether it's disciple people on there, that anyone who's on there on Patreon, or even the old guys who were on there before, please contact me back, send me stuff, you know, because I'm more than happy to help you guys out, even from outside the Patreon thing, if you have contributed to my Patreon. But on extending around that circle, I've got some cool questions from some people recently. I'll try and answer the questions online as much as I can, but I've got some cool questions from some guys, so I'll read them out to you today. So Johnny D88, Johnny D88 asks a good question. So he contacted me on one of my videos. What video was it? Let's have a look. Oh, it was an old video. It's my full iron body martial arts routine video. It's a good number of years old, that video. It's probably about 6 or 7 years old. So it's a full iron body martial arts training regime. So if you go to my channel, you go to videos and you go right to the bottom. It's a full video. The picture is me holding, I don't know if you can see, but you can't really see, but it's me holding it's me next to a wooden dummy holding a steel brush, and it was like a full routine. It was my full conditioning routine at the time. And Johnny basically says on his questions, Johnny says, where's his first question? Yeah, so it basically says like how many hours a day do you train? And I told him at that time it was about 4 hours. And then he goes on to say that's great. And he asked me if I did that for a job, because he works full time, and he's, you know, he doesn't know how you can possibly train that much. So he thought I did it for a job. I replied and told him that obviously, you know, I'm a police officer. I don't, even back then, I had a full-time job. I was still trying to put in 2-3 hours after work or before work, depending on if I was on a night shift or an afternoon shift, doing my full regime that I put in that video. So I'll put a link to that video. It's an old one, but I'll put a link to that video on this. But I was trying to do the full regime. Maybe I didn't get to it every day, but yeah, it was a good couple of hours training. And how do you accomplish that? How do you accomplish that amount of training? Well, you just got to make time for it. You know, if you work a day shift, you've got to come home and spend an hour or two doing it, depending on how much you want to do. Mine took so long because of how much stuff I had to do. I was doing iron body stuff, qigong, iron palm, doing some wooden dummy. There's so many different ways, and like with the 72 secret arts of the Shaolin, there's so many different ways to attack the same training. You know, there's so many ways. You know, there's iron palm, there's freaking striking a paper block, there's the wooden dummy practice, you know, there's rolling the pin. There's so many different things you have to do. So you've either got to break it down and just do one or two of them in a day. You can do that, or you just got to try and do what I do, and if you're really into it, try and cram a little bit of something, you know, 15-20 minutes of everything in one big go. That's really good for when you're first starting out as well, because you get a little taste of everything. You know, you do 10 minutes of 5-10 minutes of you know, iron palm, then 5-10 minutes of the strength and the twisting and the forearm grip training, and then I don't know, 5-10 minutes of qigong, 5-10 minutes of style work, kicking and punching, and try and do a little bit of everything. And then maybe on each day do a focus, or one day where you focus on your iron palm, One thing I'd say about the iron palm and the iron body training is, as a lot of great Shifus say, like Shifu Yang Li and stuff, if you're going to do the iron body and iron palm training, you also need to try and focus on building your cardiovascular endurance. So even if that's you doing some burpees on the spot before you train, or even older than that, doing like the Ba Dua Jin, or that's all what it's for, is to build up the heat and build up the sort of energy in your body. And I don't mean energy as in mystical, magical energy. I mean energy as in your body heating up, warming up, blood circulating. That's why a lot of Qi Gong and iron body Qi Gong is very low postures, because when you go low into horse stance and you're doing these low movements with your legs, the muscles are activated, it's a stress position, and it gets that body going quickly. So don't forget that. But yeah, thanks for that, Johnny. So Johnny goes on to say, do you think a good level of iron body skill is reachable with about 40 to 45 minutes a day? If not, what do you think's minimum? I work 6 hours a day, so I can find some time more. So yeah, mate, anything's better than nothing. Yeah. So if you come home and you just do half an hour, that's great. 45 minutes is great. I think a good thing for you would be, come home from work, or maybe before work, do a bit of a Qi Gong routine for a few minutes, even if it's like the Ba Dua Jin. I've got to get it right. Even if it's the Ba Dua Jin, or even if it's as simple as you wake up, stand on the spot, do strikes, do your strikes in horse stance, strike, do a bit of twisting and breathing, do a bit of flexing, get the body warmed up, and then you do 15 minutes of your iron palm training, whatever. I don't really count strikes. People ask me how many. You got to do like hundreds of strikes, or at least 100 or 100 or more. I use time rather than strikes, because traditionally people use time. They light a candle or an incense and they burn down and they just train for that amount of time. But don't worry too much about just strike until you've done a lot of strikes, like strike. If you make it like, I've got to strike till I've done 100, sometimes it just kind of takes away the focus, but anyway, I'm going on too much about that, but thanks for that, Johnny. That was a cool question, mate. I mean, unfortunately, it's a never-ending topic, about the different ways of training and stuff like that. And probably people are getting bored and dying of freaking suffocation and boredom listening to me drone on about that. There was another good question, yeah. So yeah, unfortunately, Johnny, I'd love to do this as a job, but I've got to try and squeeze it in between my normal life. Another thing is this I always say to people, this mindset of constant training. Yeah, that's kind of the only way you can do this. I take things with me, like, I'm in work, people always laugh at me because I've got like my gun here and I've got my gripper. I've got it here somewhere. I've got my gripper holstered. Here it is. I've got my gripper holstered to like next to where my gun lives all the time. So the gun's there and it like clips in next to it. I've got my gripper all the time. So I'm like, grip strength is so important for martial arts and a lot of things. So I'm there like with my gripper, throughout the day, doing some grips, keeping that grip strength strong, doing some holds, just when I get home, my wife will be watching TV, although I'm less like that now, but I'm talking about my whole career of martial arts. My wife would be watching TV, something boring that I'm not interested in, Housewives or something. So I would be standing next to her on the thing, and with my sledgehammer, I'll be doing some grips on the sledgehammer, I'll be doing some twisting. But mate, nothing's stopping you from when maybe not being out, maybe you can't strike the freaking iron palm bag whilst your whole family's there, nothing watching TV, but nothing's stopping you from, whilst you're watching TV or in the lounge, you know, standing in horse stance, whatever, you know, warming yourself up a bit, and then just having your bag, and whilst you're watching TV, you're striking your bag. It's as mundane as that. You've just got to put the hours in. That's literally all you've got to do. Let's see. That goes on with another one's question, because a Manly Frame, a guy posted a while back, say for an iron dummy, for a wooden dummy video of mine, and he's like, how many reps do you have to do? And you just do as many as you want, man. It's not, there's none, you don't have to do anything, you know, just do what you want. Okay, what else do we have here? Thanks to the anime trainer comes on, says they enjoy hearing me ramble on one of my 2 cents videos. They must be the only one. ABWJW, Abwa JW asked me a couple of days ago what you can do to build up pinch grip. So I'll probably make another video on that, but there's loads of cool things you can do to build up pinch grip. The best one is just to pinch grip stuff or plate curls. You know, if you've got some plates at home, like as in weight plates, you put a couple of them together and you just grip them. Even if they're not very heavy, even if they're just like 1/2 kilo plates, you know, a couple of 100-gram plates, or the half or 1.25, the little plates like that or whatever, you know, like 1 kilo ones, you put a couple of them together and you just grab them and you just hold them, and you do spins like this with your wrist. You know, the main thing's about keeping them gripped. And then if you've got a bigger plate, a longer plate, or any kind of long flat item, you can curl it and do wrist curls with it and grip it, and stuff like that. Yeah. So yeah, man, I'll try and dig up some stuff for you on that one. But there was another one. Keithy PV sent me a good message, which was cool. He said, Keithy PV, hello mate, hope you're listening. He said, hey man, I'm a believer, I've been following you a good bit. Finally decided and getting serious with getting in touch with you. And he goes on to say he's been doing martial arts for over 30 years. And he's been enjoying his training. He says he'd like to work with me a little more on 72 secret arts of the Shaolin stuff and 100-day challenges and all that. He says he's got an understanding of Qi, breathing, and just wants to sort of work with me on some stuff. So yeah, to Keith, I'd say, mate, if you I appreciate someone who's been doing martial arts for so long contacting me. Yeah, I added it up the other day. It's been about 28 years I've been doing martial arts pretty seriously. So if you want to work with me, man, send me a video, do something, come along to Patreon, whatever you want to do. Yeah, man, I'm here. Send me some contact, ironbodymartialarts.com, or send me a message on here. That goes for anyone. It'd be cool. You know, it's funny that in all the time I've been doing this, I haven't had many sort of reply videos or anything, you know. I don't know why people don't seem to do it much. Maybe between my things, or if someone wants to collaborate, we can do that. But look, anyway, guys, I just wanted to make this video. It's probably too long and you guys have died of boredom. Just to tell you that I'm out here, I'm still doing my thing, and yeah, keep up the good work, keep up the training. I hope you guys are all well with your families. For anyone who's listening to this, businesses, everything's hard. And just to finish, you know, look, if you want to collaborate, everyone's hard. People are losing their jobs, down on money. At the end of the day, if you really need my help or assistance, and you want to train or whatever, send me a video, man. A video is free, a reply video. Obviously, people who are like on my Patreon or whatever, I'm going to pay a little bit more time to. but ultimately I'm here all the time trying to make videos for everyone and trying to build the martial arts community and just trying to build it with positive stuff. So I'm trying to make time for everyone. It's not about money. I don't make any money. I don't make any money. There's no money in this. I wish there was, because that would be my dream, to just do this all the time, do proper martial arts, have a school, but the world just doesn't work that way. Okay? Alrighty guys, well look, be well, thanks for the questions, thanks for the videos, thank you to Mike Rook, my closed door student. Keep up the good work guys, and God bless everyone. If to whatever God or deity you prescribe in, may they watch you and look after you. And if you don't believe in any kind of deity or whatever, then I just hope you have good luck. All right? Excellent. I'll catch you guys around. Had a good training session today. But I'm going now. Before I get tempted to talk more.